Well, America, we have some petitions going around. Some states want to secede from the United States of America. What does this mean? Should you sign one of those petitions? Now, I have friends on Facebook and stuff who are posting this and are saying that I have signed the petition. Let's go. Let's secede. Now, I'm sitting back thinking, hold on. This is a big deal. Do we really want to secede? I live in Alabama, which is one of the states that have started one of these petitions and that are saying they want to secede from the Union. Now, I don't know who's saying it, but some people are, and it's going out in the news and in the media. Well, do I want to do that? I don't know. There are a lot of questions that I would like to answer, that I would like to know the answers to before I just went up and signed this petition. What does it mean to secede? Basically, it means to be separate from the United States of America, to get away from the federal laws, to get away from the federal system and from this interesting government that we have going on these days. Is it a good idea? Maybe. First off, I did not vote for President Obama in his first election or in this re-election term in 2012. And one question that pops in my head is, could this be part of Obama's plan, or could this be something that he likes seeing, America wanting to divide itself and, breaking down America, possibly destroying America. Once America divides, once a country divides, it's not usually good because a lot of times divided, we fall. Could the states be allowed to secede only to be taken back a short time after and put under some sort of communist rule? What could the states lose if they did secede? Medicare, Medicaid, defense by our nation's military, the Army, Marines, things like that. What about welfare? Now, Lord knows we need a little strengthening in the welfare department. Would the states all come together and form their own form of federal government, paying their own federal taxes? Would they abide by the original Constitution, or would they make their own Constitution? How would we defend ourselves? Will we be able to keep our National Guard? What would happen to the military bases that are just down the road from where I live, 20, 30 miles from where I live? We have a large Army base. What would happen? Would the original United States of America get to keep it? Would that belong to the original federal government still? Could these bases, all these military bases, potentially be a threat to these seceded states? Would we have to build our own bases, come up with our own military? How do we support ourselves? And we know Louisiana and Texas, they have large oil reserves and off the Gulf Coast, which I think every state along the Gulf Coast is threatening to secede or is signing a petition to secede. What would the population in America do if that happened? Would all of the liberals move into the original United States, and all of the conservatives and the people who did not vote for Barack Obama, would they move into the seceded states? What would that do? Oh my goodness, I have one scenario. All the people who don't want to work and don't want to pay taxes and want to get money from the government, they would move to the original United States, and all the workers would come down to the seceded states. What would that do to the original United States? It would probably drop their tax revenue down incredibly because they would have no workers. So that makes me think, will this even be allowed to happen? Would our federal government do everything that they can to try to stop this from happening? Because any person with some common sense would know that all the workers are not going to want to pay for all the people on welfare and food stamps who are abusing the system. Now, some people, granted, are on the system fairly, but that's something else. I'm not talking about that. Could it cause a civil war? I don't know, and that's a very, very scary thought. But one of the things is, all the workers and all the people who want to own guns and who do own guns would more than likely move into the seceded states. And the people who do not have guns and don't know how to shoot guns would probably move to the original United States. That would be beneficial if a civil war did break out, God forbid. But what about the military? Would the seceded states not have a very strong military? I don't know. We need to know what's going to happen to the military before we try to secede. Because if we secede without a military, Lord knows Obama may send the original United States military down to the seceded states and take us over and put us under communist rule. What's going to happen? I don't know. But I'll tell you one thing, I'm going to be here on this YouTube channel talking to you about it. I just started this YouTube channel today. Upon these actions, it just inspired me to start it and start talking to you about it and get people to think. Before you jump on the bandwagon, let's think about this. Now, seceding may be a great thing. It may be what we need to do, maybe what we have to do. But before we just jump on and say, let's go, let's break apart, let's stop, let's think, and decide if this is a good thing. Because I know nothing about it. I don't think America knows hardly anything about it. So let's be slow to take action. Let's think about this. Let's make the right decision. How do you decide? I don't know. Watch the news? I don't know. Be careful who you watch in the news. Be real careful. And best thing I can tell you to do, pray about it. Thank you all for watching, and please subscribe. It's a brand new channel. And hey, share this video on Facebook. Get your friends thinking. Let's make the right decision here. Thank you, and God bless. Now, I'm just going to keep throwing out videos to make you think, and I'm going to try to give you the truth.